The phone call that changed everything. Zoe's phone rang as she cleaned the luxurious lobby of the Grand Plaza Hotel. She never answered during work hours. It was rule number 1 from Manager Richards. But this was the university calling. After 6 failed scholarship attempts for her linguistics master's program, this could change everything. Zoe Johnson, she whispered, hiding behind a marble column. Professor Van Houten from the University of Amsterdam spoke in perfect Dutch. Zoe responded fluently, her impeccable pronunciation flowing naturally as they discussed her application. Then she noticed the sudden silence around her. Richard Coleman, the billionaire hotel owner, stood nearby watching with undisguised surprise. Next to him was Manager Richards, eyes wide with fury. "I have to go. I'll call you later," Zoe said hurriedly in Dutch, hanging up. Johnson, "My office. Now. The walk to the basement office felt endless. At 29, Zoe was the only black woman in housekeeping with a college degree, something Richards made a point of constantly forgetting. No phones during working hours, especially in common areas, Richards fired off. And what language was that? Dutch, Zoe corrected instinctively, immediately regretting it. "I don't care if it was Martian. Mr. Coleman saw a cleaning lady ignoring her duties to talk on the phone in the lobby. The injustice burned. White receptionists took personal calls regularly with no consequences. "I'm assigning you to the convention center bathrooms for the next 3 months. That night, Zoe cried silently in her small shared apartment, staring at her linguistics degree and international certificates framed on the peeling wall. 6 years of cleaning hotel rooms while trying to save for a master's degree. 6 years of sending resumes that never received responses after in-person interviews. The next morning, Human Resources called her to the top floor. Uncharted territory for cleaning staff. "Mr. Coleman has requested a meeting with you. Now." The owner's office was bigger than her entire apartment. Richard Coleman, at 45, was famous for turning bankrupt hotels into luxury properties. "Dutch, French, Italian, and Mandarin, correct?" he asked bluntly, consulting an open folder. "Your resume. I asked for it as soon as I heard you yesterday. Honors degree in linguistics from Georgetown, fluent in 6 languages, and cleaning my hotel for 6 years. Explain." "I sent 47 resumes to the International Relations Department. All ignored. I tried for an internal transfer 12 times, always denied by Manager Richards and Director Whitmore." Coleman wrote down the names without batting an eyelid. "Curious. Whitmore constantly complains about lack of multilingual staff for our international clients. Tomorrow, a trade conference with Dutch and Chinese executives begins. I need someone who speaks both languages fluently. I want you as our international relations coordinator. $5,000 a week, starting today." Zoe almost dropped her purse. It was more than she earned in 3 months. An hour later, with her new badge, she ran into Richards. "Johnson, what are you doing on this floor without your uniform?" "Ms. Richards, International Relations Coordinator, at Mr. Coleman's direct request." Richards visibly paled. "Impossible. You don't have the qualifications. Georgetown degree, fluent in 6 languages. My resume has been in the hotel's files for 6 years, along with my 12 transfer requests." That afternoon, Zoe discovered something disturbing. The conference documents contained incorrect and culturally inappropriate translations in Mandarin that could cause serious diplomatic misunderstandings. She quickly corrected the errors. "How did you know they were wrong?" Coleman asked from the doorway. The previous translation used terms that could be considered offensive in formal corporate Chinese. "Whoever did this knows basics, but not cultural nuances. Whitmore assured me he hired the best translators. It cost a fortune. He hired someone without checking credentials," Zoe said, pointing out critical errors. During the conference, Zoe glided among international executives, switching effortlessly between Dutch and Mandarin, facilitating connections that would normally take days. What she discovered shocked her. The translation company belonged to Whitmore's niece, who had no proven Mandarin experience but charged expert rates. All previous translations contained similar errors that could have cost millions. When a Dutch businessman recognized Zoe's published academic work, Coleman watched from afar as Whitmore grew increasingly uncomfortable. On the fourth day, Zoe caught Whitmore replacing her correct translations with his niece's flawed versions. Mr. Coleman needs to see this immediately. Thomas, I'm seeing payment records for $50,000 for incompetent translations while we have qualified employees cleaning bathrooms, Coleman said, voice dangerously calm. Her niece has zero experience in formal Mandarin, Zoe added, placing documentation on the table. I confirmed with Beijing University, they never certified Ashley Whitmore. Whitmore shot Zoe a look of pure hatred. You're nobody. A cleaning lady who thinks she can play with the big boys. PhD in Applied Linguistics from Georgetown, Zoe corrected calmly. With 6 international publications. Thomas, I've called an emergency board meeting. I want your resignation in 30 minutes. 2 hours later, the executive auditorium was packed. Coleman took the stage with Zoe at his side. Today we discovered a systematic scheme of discrimination and nepotism that has cost this company millions. For years, managers have implemented unofficial policies that harmed both employees and our bottom line. A presentation showed damning statistics. Employee qualifications versus positions, hiring rejections by race and gender, and overpriced contracts with managers' family members. Ms. Johnson, whom some knew only as a cleaning lady, saved us from a diplomatic and financial disaster this week. Thomas Whitmore has been terminated. Sarah Richards is suspended, and effective immediately, Drive. Zoe Johnson is our new Global Director of International Communications. The auditorium erupted in applause, especially from the cleaning crew in the back, who applauded with tears in their eyes. 6 months later, Zoe's office on the 32nd floor overlooked Manhattan. The plaque read, Drive. Zoe Johnson, Vice President of Diversity and International Relations. She presented to the board. In 6 months, we identified 147 employees with skills in languages, finance, management, and technology who were in roles well below their capabilities. 83% were from minority groups. Translation costs are down 78%. International customer satisfaction up 42%. All while providing real opportunities to people already on our payroll. Sarah Richards now managed laundry at a second-rate property in California. Thomas Whitmore worked as a night manager at a roadside motel in Arizona, his name permanently tarnished. I want to share something personal, Zoe said, turning to the camera broadcasting to all properties. My mother worked as a hotel maid. She had a college degree but never got a job in her field. She told me, Zoe, no matter how much they try to make you feel invisible, your worth is not dependent on their recognition. She never lived to see this moment. Coleman stood, applauding, followed by the entire room and hundreds watching remotely. Later, Zoe received an offer from the University of Amsterdam as a visiting professor. She smiled, thinking, I have Richards to thank for punishing me that day. If she'd simply given me a warning, I might still be cleaning rooms. She launched a scholarship fund for hotel employees and their children, financed by her new salary. What began as a phone call in Dutch had created ripples spreading far beyond that hotel. Talent exists everywhere. What's lacking are opportunities and recognition. Zoe's sweetest revenge wasn't seeing her antagonists fall, it was watching hundreds of people like her finally rise.